Hello everyone, how's it going? Today we're gonna take some photos about a watch and then put together a branded lookbook at the end of this whole thing. My brother Nico has an old Panerai watch which was passed down from our dad, and it just has like a nice classic but modern feel to it. And basically I really liked the way it looked, so I felt like I should use it as the focus for a photo shoot to create something cohesive that hopefully a brand like Panerai would be interested in using. Panerai, if you're interested, you can hit me up. So when creating a lookbook, I feel like the best way to go about doing that is to take lifestyle photos, which isn't solely about taking photos of the product itself, but more about taking photos of a lifestyle that embodies the qualities that a person that would use that product would have. So with that said, it's definitely important to understand what kind of vibe the product has or what kind of messaging you feel like the brand would want to convey in terms of how they're gonna market this product. In this case, I'd probably describe it as having a modern, sleek, but also classical feel to it. And also Panerai is renowned for their love of the sea. Like the whole history of the brand is they love the ocean. So I feel like incorporating some part of the ocean into this as well is definitely important. Since Panerai is an Italian brand, I felt like having someone who was European or even Italian, someone Italian looking would be perfect to have as the model for the shoot. And luckily, since Nico and I are half Italian and he is a classy looking Italian guy, it was perfect. It just like, he kind of fit the vibe of the character to help portray like exactly what I wanted to portray. So he was the perfect model to use in my opinion. So secondly, I did a bit of research about locations around Vancouver and I shortlisted about 10 of them. But I only needed 3. So I decided to hop on my bike and go check out all of these locations. I was looking for 3 different things in each location. The first one was something modern, sleek. I was thinking something with pillars would work really well. And then lastly, some like cityscape that looks really classy and kind of like fits the mold of the other 2 locations quite well. Then I went back to Nico's house and we picked out an outfit that went nicely with the locations. It's definitely important to get the right outfit because if you don't get this correct, the whole vibe of what you're gonna go for won't be conveyed. So in terms of planning, I just created a reference sheet where I pulled a bunch of photos of male models posing in certain ways that I would hopefully want Nico to do similar poses of. And for me, one of the best places to go is Pinterest or just Google Images. One thing just to keep in mind, one thing to think about before you go is that a variety of shots is definitely important when you're photographing for a brand. So one thing I do, just like, it sounds super simple, but it definitely helps, is at each location, just keep in mind that you need to get 1 close-up, 1 medium shot, 1 wide shot at least. Obviously you could get way more than that, but just like cover all your bases while you're at each location. So real quick, in terms of equipment, all I brought was my Sony a7 III and a 50mm lens. I brought snacks because we were shooting for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Definitely bring snacks. On the day, I put my stuff in the car and headed over to pick up Nico, and we drove to Coal Harbor to the first location. Since I'd already been to the locations, it was really quick to get all the photos because I'd already planned out what angles I wanted to get and what poses I wanted Nico to be in. So just having all that pre-planned stuff just made the whole shoot run a lot smoother. So at the first location at the Vancouver Convention Center, I fell in love with this location as soon as I saw it. The modern architecture and the leading lines of the walkway, the way that everything looks so clean and polished and modern. And also it was on top of the ocean, which as I mentioned before was a super important aspect to get into these photos. Another aspect that I really loved about this location was the balcony part because I was able to get a shot of Nico overlooking the ocean from below, and that just kind of made him look really prestigious. So I think out of this whole location, my favorite shot was the staircase shot where Nico is standing out, almost seemingly floating above the ocean. It really has that like ocean vibes, but also kind of looks like the Navy. And that's significant because a big part of Panerai's history is also about them supplying watches for the Italian Navy. So I think that worked really well, and it worked really well in the lookbook too when it all came together, but I'll show you that in a bit. This next location was pretty cool. It's just some office building just off of Coal Harbor, and the main reason I chose it was because of the leading lines that the pillars created. It just looks really classy and kind of like fits the overall vibe of what I was going for. Lastly, while we were in Gastown, walking down West Cordova Street, there was a bunch of nice architecture and some really nice buildings as well to take advantage of. I thought some more candid / city lifestyle photos would be nice to add into the mix just to kind of like add some variety. We then found these chairs, which I didn't really notice when I was location scouting because I don't know, for me, they didn't look too amazing to take a photo of. But then Nico was like, oh, what about that photo? And I was like, all right, let's try it out. And when he sat down, the light coming through from the branches or like going through the building was like right onto his face, and it just looked perfect. It was like the perfect lighting, exactly what we wanted. So we were super lucky to get into that location, but the photos turned out amazing, like Giorgio Armani, or I don't know. Maybe I'm like hyping myself up too much, but I think these photos turned out pretty freaking cool. But more importantly, it gave off that like classic but modern feel that I wanted to go for, especially after the edit. Oh yeah, and speaking about the edit, let's go through exactly what I did to create this. I basically used my preset, which I have now called New York Magazine. But yeah, this was always just like a base for me to start off with, and then I tweaked everything. I would usually add a little bit of texture and then fix the exposure, or maybe add some contrast in there as well. But as you've probably seen, there are also some black and white photos, and I thought I'd add that in just for variety. And I did the same sort of thing in terms of editing it. I first put on my preset, which I have called black and white. And then from there I went and tweaked it. I touched up the photos a tiny bit. In Lightroom, I would brighten up the eyes, and then I also brought it into Photoshop just to get rid of a couple of these really bright spots. And then afterwards, I decided to arrange all the photos in Adobe Illustrator into a kind of lookbook slash brochure kind of style. I also added some branding and some quotes, which I just stole from their website. But check out the outcome of the brochure. I just got it printed, and it came back. And it looks super cool. Is this in frame? Let's see. They printed it on some glossy paper, and like there's 8 pages of it here, and it really looks like a brochure. And in my opinion, just to see your work printed out and seeing what it could be if you were to work with a brand definitely like increases my confidence in being able to reach out to brands, and maybe I could even like show them this physical version if I'm trying to like pitch my services to a brand. So I think like if you spend the money and print it out, it's kind of cool. Also, I'm gonna go show this to Nico later, and I think he'll be quite excited to see himself in a brochure on glossy paper. So yeah, that's kind of cool too. But yeah, basically I just wanted to show the applications of lifestyle photos. It doesn't just stop with an Instagram post or anything like that. And it's definitely a big thing that brands will want. But yeah, if you're a designer and you feel like you could design something better than I did, I would totally be down to send you all the photos. You can create the brochure, send it back to me, and show me what I should have done with this. But yeah, let me know what you think. I think these photos turned out pretty well. And the brochure was kind of cool too. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Oh, hi. Kind of weird to be saying hi at the end of the video, but I just wanted to say welcome back because it's been a while since my last video, and you might notice that I'm in a different location. I've moved to Vancouver now. I'm going to UBC, so this will be my room hopefully for the next couple of years. And in terms of uploading, I'm planning to upload 1 video every 2 weeks. So every other Sunday, I'm planning to get something up. So stay tuned for the video next Sunday. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, if you liked the brochure, if you liked any of the photos, please leave a like below. Comment below what you thought as well. And also subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Thanks for watching.